Bella in good shape. 116 miles. Filled up with gas and bought some groceries. Came up about another 6 or 8 miles to an anchorage marked on the plotter. And this is it. It's very pretty. Little hard to find a good place to drop anchor. We got out here, anchored up, and I was tuckered, so I laid down for a few minutes, and Bea chewed on a bone for about 5 minutes, and then she stood back up and got in my face and started yipping, which means, gotta go, Dad! So we're on shore, doing our business, sniffing around, enjoying ourselves. Then we'll go back in and we'll cook. I think we're gonna do spaghetti tonight. Yeah. Spam and spaghetti. This tuckers you out. This is fun. It's gorgeous. It's like when you're a kid, you have that fantasy that somebody's gonna say, hey, it's your birthday, you can eat all the ice cream and cake you want. I don't recall that ever happening, but this is a little like that. It's like, get in your boat, drive 1,000 miles north, have a lot of fun. So I am. Oh, Bea had a fabulous time on the beach. She did not want to come in. She was enjoying herself. I, however, was getting really hungry. So this is what I'm doing tonight for dinner. It's gourmet. I am boiling some noodles and I am frying some Spam cubes in, and then adding the spaghetti sauce. So yeah, you know, you do what you can out here. The thing about cooking in the boat is everything fogs up instantly. I do have a pretty good fan system in here for the heater. I have a little vent here, and I can open this window. Got the first aid kit out. You know what that means. Somebody got a boo-boo. Got a new knife for the trip, and it's really sharp. I made it through the night here, and it rained all night. But God, I have to say, sleeping on a boat is pretty cool. I had no idea. It was just quiet and extremely pleasant. My dog is not only learning how to behave on a boat, but she's learning how to run the boat. So last night, about 9:30, I get about 1 bar of service here, so I was checking my messages, texting back and forth, and my dog started barking at me. And it was the sort of bark that you need to do something, you know, like let me out or feed me or something like that. I couldn't figure out. We'd just been on shore for a while. I put my phone down, and she walked over and laid down against me. Oh. So I picked my phone back up to check one more time, and she got back up and barked at me again. I put the phone down. She laid back down next to me. It was time to go to bed. She was serious about that. I am going to Bishop Bay Hot Springs, because I could use a good soak right about now. Yeah. I've got Orca at 1 o'clock. As soon as I saw them, I went into neutral and let them pass by. First Orca of the trip. Yeah. Yeah, this is not my favorite crossing here. A little more ocean exposure and a little more swell than I thought there would be. So what I'm figuring out here is it's kind of coming from the south, almost due south, southwest. A couple different directions, so occasionally they stack up. But when I'm going, I don't know, more northeast, or yeah, northeast, like I would be heading into the sound here, those occasional big swells pick up the back end and push me forward and it's real uncomfortable. So I'm tacking more due north and just riding over the swells, and then when I get up here a little bit further, I will turn due north into the sound and ride the swells like I'm crossing a bar. And a little bit of a white knuckle white knuckle right here. Take it. I like to think at the end of the day that I've learned something, and that's the whole reason I'm doing this trip, is it's making me part of the reason. The other part's crazy. I want to learn. I want to be a better boater on the other side of this. I've certainly read a lot. I got my Coast Guard captain's license, but practical knowledge is, there's nothing like it. And this is practical knowledge. So, right now, I am entering Millbank Sound. And it sort of feels like you're entering a big bay because you've got mountains on both sides and you're going from the ocean into something that looks like a river, but it's not a river, it's a sound. So we're going from, 100 to 300 feet of water in the ocean. And then I get in the sound and it's now 820 feet deep. So what does that do? What does that do to the ocean? What does that do to the swells? Does the volume cause them to decrease? Because in a bay situation, in a coastal bar, what happens is the forward energy of those swells starts to hit the shallowing deposits from the river, and that forces the energy up, and then you get the bigger swells and breakers. Well, it's just the opposite here. Suddenly it gets really deep. So this will be a practical lesson. A question I have never asked anybody in my life is, what do 6-foot swells do when you enter a sound? All right, so I can start to answer the question, what happens when all these swells enter into the sound? And they do start to sort themselves out. I think you generally get them going in the same direction. They're not as big as they were in the ocean. So I can speed up to 20, 21 miles an hour, which is my normal cruising speed on this trip. There's a lot going on in Clem too. There's the construction. Wow, that's kind of awe-inspiring. That is just amazing. We are approaching Bishop Hot Springs. Now this is just beautiful. Bishop Bay Hot Springs. I got a place at the dock. Maintained by volunteers. That must be the hot spring. Oh boy. This looks pretty fun. Very popular place tonight. Beautiful place. Sorry, no video in the hot tub. It's pretty sweet though. Nice place. Bishop Hot Springs is just a really beautiful place. There are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boats on this little dock with several sets rafted up. Coolest thing though is I went up the pathway and was walking around, and of course Bia draws attention. So there was a group of gals camped out in tents, and I noticed they had their sea kayaks pulled up, so I asked them where they launched from, they said Telegraph Cove, which is clear down on the sort of northern end of Vancouver Island. So they're on a 3-month sojourn up the west coast of British Columbia all the way to Juneau, Alaska. They are from New Zealand and Australia and a couple from Victoria, and they're having a great time. And their website, and I'm going to look it up when I have cell service, is called thepassagepaddle.com. Thepassagepaddle.com, all one word. And it's Ella, Elise, Whitney, Michelle, and Heather. And they just look like a great bunch of young ladies doing the trip of a lifetime. It's pretty cool. Fun to talk to them. They're having a great time. This is a great place. So we swapped some stories. And I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. We're going to get up early and head to Prince Rupert tomorrow. And yeah, spend the night there. Beautiful morning here in Bishop Bay. Rained all night. Well, goodbye Bishop Bay. That was beautiful. Met some nice people. A couple of guys anchored up next to me who just like to come out here once a year and buddy around and soak in the hot tub and fish and drink beer, and maybe a little too much beer, a little bit of a stumble coming down the ramp last night. Lost his phone in the water. But what a beautiful place. I hope to come back here someday. Off to Prince Rupert. Cruising along, dead flat water, still overcast. Yeah. But it should be a smooth trip, and I'm just been told it's going to be more great scenery. On we go.